Well, hey everyone, welcome to the next episode of the Gundam Explain podcast. I guess that's episode 31, right? Yeah, I made the thumbnail earlier, but yeah, glad to be here doing this live. This has been a lot of fun. Already people in the chat talking, so we can, spend about an hour to just chill, talk about Gundam. Curious, any Gundam related stuff going on in your life? Yeah, just go ahead and comment about it. Pretty curious. Yeah, I'll be jumping to some news here shortly. For instance, there's some video game stuff going on that I found interesting. I wanted to talk about the GM Camouf or Camouf. It's supposed to be short for camouflage, so I'm going to kind of jump into that. I was thinking Goof, Camouf. That's just what came to me, but we'll kind of jump into that and kind of get an idea of that mobile suit. And then what were some other stuff? There's just some cool stuff found around the internet that I wanted to share. And yeah, I guess, we'll go ahead and get started. Really, this past week, anything Gundam related I've picked up, nothing that I've got personally. It's just, all those pre-orders that are going on. Yeah, I just have a bunch of stuff on pre-order, but, I did get this from my wife. It says eat, sleep, Gundam, repeat. That's probably what she's seeing from me, and so it just makes sense, right? That was probably an easy gift. But yeah, that was Valentine's, so that was really cool. Also got some pajamas, because everyone could use pajamas, especially right now in Texas. I'm in North Texas, and even though it is Texas, it is cold. It's like in the 30s right now, and it's going to get even lower. To some people, that might be nothing, but for me, that's pretty cold. So, let's see. So, just real quick about this podcast live show. Again, it's a live stream on YouTube, and then the final version will go up on Friday. I usually trim out the beginning. And then the podcast format, it's on like Spotify, Apple, Google. But if there's any other podcast platforms you guys use or would like it to be on, just let me know, because that's really an easy thing for me to do, just to throw it on there. And actually, I think that's it for those kind of formalities at the beginning. Let me kind of jump in here. Let's get the screen share going. Let's see. Just real quickly, this past week, a couple things that I've posted. After the last live stream of the podcast, I actually had a live of playing Gundam Battle Operation 2. It's just when I'm doing my dailies on Saturday, I figured I'd live stream it and maybe just play a few rounds. There was some nice chat there. If any of you are ever available to jump on, I usually do it once the dailies reset for the day. So that's usually 2 p.m. Central. So if anyone's interested, you should probably join the Discord for one, and we talk about Gundam Battle Operation 2 in there all the time, but we can also coordinate when to jump in. I'll probably open a chat there so we can all chat as we play. But also I've been playing a lot of this Gundam. So it's like SD. It's SDG Gundam G Generation Genesis. I don't know. There's a lot of G's in there, but it's a turn-based strategy game. There's a whole series of these, really, and this is one on PS4, 5, and it's also on Switch, and it goes through Universal Century and stuff like that. But I've been having a lot of fun with it, and actually, Will, he's a frequent commenter. He's in the Discord. He's kind of giving me some tips about it that really helped me fully embrace and understand the game, and I've been going all out, having so much fun. Now, an interesting thing about it, it wasn't really officially released in North America, as far as I know. I have, there's a version with English subtitles, so that's what I just ordered it on Amazon when I got it, and Amazon Prime even had next day, so I was able to pick it up. But what's interesting is there's DLC, so within the North American marketplace, on the PlayStation Store, you can't download that DLC and play it. But if you just sign in to another region, I have a Singapore, I even have a Japanese one, and I think it was the Japanese account I used originally to get Gundam Battle Operation 2 when that first came out, because it wasn't in North America. But yeah, I went in, downloaded the DLC. You start up the game when you're in that region, it adds it to the game, so then when you get back in on your North American account, You can then play it with all the DLC. Now, what's really interesting is there's kind of a process to it. So I made a video kind of explaining that, the address to use, how to set up the account, how to get the credit, because then you have to buy the DLC in that other region. So that's all outlined in the video. If you guys have questions about it, let me know, because there's so much more you can do with another region profile. I was doing this back on the PS3. I remember the Starship Troopers game came out. That was not Starship Troopers. I'm sorry, it's similar. Lost Planet. Sorry, a Lost Planet game that was only in Japan, and I wanted to play it so bad, so I made another region profile to do that. And also, Santo Bell has he's another commenter. He's in the Discord. He's actually he gave me some tips on that as well to kind of help me with the process to get Gundam Breaker 3, because that's another game not released here in North America, but you can get it easily that way. So there's some gaming stuff if you guys are interested at all. Let's see. I'm looking at the chat real quick. Some Gundam Explained apparel. Well, you know what? That is a good idea. My wife made a hoodie and it says Gundam Explained. Now, as cool as that is, and, I think it would be more interesting for people if I consider myself an artist in some fashion. I like to design things. I'd like to just make some Gundam-related apparel. It doesn't have to say Gundam Explained. You know what I mean? I like the idea of just making something cool that's Gundam-themed, that kind of fits, like, the audience. And, there's a lot of artists out there that I could even commission to do stuff. I might want to do stuff on my own, but I might actually look at or on the stream show an artist that was suggested in our Discord. So I'll do that here in a second. Let's see. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, color coordinate suits for clan missions. Yep. I'm willing to go all out. Webcam, get like a Federation helmet. Have like a red strobe light. Oh, people even do that with games. I think that you can like sync up your LEDs with the game. So you can, depending on what's going on, like if I have low health, you already get that alert in game, but then you have like a red flashing going on. I don't know. That just seems awesome. And you know what? I feel bad. There was this time where someone at Reddit wanted to put together like a role-playing clan for GBO2, and I was like, man, that's a good idea. And so I messaged the guy and talked to him about it, and it seemed a little complicated, but I really think that's something that could really work. I think it's a pretty good idea. Let's see. What's this? You can get the Platinum Edition of SD Gundam G Generation and Crossrays. Oh, okay. That's good to know. I actually got, it's funny. I originally bought Crossrays because it was on sale on Steam, and I was like, okay, this isn't bad, but I'm more into Universal Century, so that's what got me into SD anyway. But then, real quick, there's also the video up where I did a little review of the 96X Jesta from Unicorn. That was a Gunpla kit that Santo Bell sent to me, and I built that, had fun, did some pics. I have a little review of that. And then MS Igloo 2, I'm on that Gravity Front series now, where it's from the side of the Federation, but it has that weird Angel of Death thing going on, where it's kind of a weird, if they explain it by way of Newtype, maybe it makes sense, but it's kind of a weird supernatural aspect of Gundam that you don't really see anywhere else, so it's almost like it's its own isolated thing. It's pretty interesting. Check out the video if you haven't. And then these other two, the thumbnails look cool, so I might have needed to label it like music. These are just tracks from SD. There we go. SD Gundam G Generation Genesis. They're just music tracks that are awesome. I can't find these anywhere to listen to on my own while I'm working or something or driving, and so I just recorded from the game. Now I figured out how to get easily footage from some of the games, like Code Fairy and Genesis for some reason is blocked by the PS5 when I'm doing the remote play to do the capture. But what I'm using for this camera, I can actually plug the PS5 into, get all the audio and video. I tested it out, it looks great. So I might make some videos in the future. I'll probably be doing one here shortly, though, and all the Advance of Zeta suits that you can get in Generation Genesis and showing their attacks and animations, because I think it's just sick. Even though they're super deformed, it's the closest we can get to seeing all that stuff, really. Let's see. Ever tried Mass Builder? It'd be a mecha builder, third-person combat game. Yeah, I want to say I did see that, and I either downloaded it or it looks pretty cool because it looks like it's all about customizing, but it has a lot of combat to it. So, yeah, Robert, if you ever get to playing that, let us know what you think. Ian Henson, I'm glad to see the resurgence of Gundam games. That is interesting because, being a gamer my whole life, I had never really played a Gundam game because what it was never interesting to me until the Dreamcast with that side story. I forget what the name of the units were in that, but I just played it just to play a Dreamcast game, and I've always liked robots. So I got it, and I loved it. I remember I would beat it a couple times. I'd play through it, beat it, and play it again. Didn't know it was Gundam. Just thought it was just some random game with robots. So, let's see. Glenn Norwood, first time ever watching. Have you talked about the new SD Gundam Battle Alliance game? Yes, I have a reaction trailer up. Those are really fun to do. And then I talked a little bit about it in the last podcast, but I think it deserves another video. Maybe if there's more information that comes out. But there is a little more information, actually, that I was thinking, man, should I cover a video about it now or later? They're showing the HUD. They're showing more of like the combat mechanics, showing some of the gameplay aspects like upgrading your character and all that. And so that stuff I'm all interested in. So I'm thinking of making a video of that here very soon, or I might just wait a little bit to see if more info comes out, because that game's coming out this year, so I'm sure we're going to see a ton more information. Gundam Breaker 3, yep, that's something that, Santo Bell from the Discord, very knowledgeable about it, kind of gave me the information on how to get access to it, and I think it's pretty fun. It's, it has a lot of stuff that's not UC, and I'm more into things that are very story-driven of Gundam and are strict with, like, this is that mobile suit and what it does. And for me, customizing is mainly just decals, like in GBO2. Not too crazy about mixing parts, at least not yet. But anyway, do you plan on having people as moderators for your live streams? Yeah, that might happen. That might have to happen eventually, once this gets bigger and all that. But yeah, we'll see. But you know what? Speaking of games, because we bring up a lot of game stuff, and so I might jump into that. Let me get on my old type eyewear here. Okay, so I'm going to jump over to... Okay, so Gundam Evolution. I'm sure most of you... Oh, man, how can I get that in here better? I'm sure most of you have heard about this, or... hold on, I'm going to have to do this live, and I think I can. Browser, let's move this over, tighten this up. Okay. So they announced this last year, and I heard that there was a beta. I didn't know how to get into it. I'm going to mute this as I play it. But there's someone out there that has 2 gameplay videos that they are going through and detailing how the weapons work for the specific mobile suits. Now, again, I talked about this game before. I think it's cool just because it's Gundam, but it is kind of like a hero shooter, a first-person kind of character-based PvP game. Hey, it fills a niche that's not necessarily in Gundam right now, in the video game space. So I think it's cool because of that. At least they're making other types of Gundam games, so I can't complain. This wouldn't have been my first choice of gameplay style, but I'd be interested in playing it. Because it is very fast-paced. It mixes the different universes, and it's just PvP. But And then, yeah, you can kind of see when they're using the abilities and the refresh of that. It looks very much like, those hero-based shooters. Even Star Wars Battlefront 2, I played a whole ton of. It was like that with like the heroes, their abilities, or even the regular troopers, actually. So, this is something to check out. The YouTuber is Dunmere. And yeah, he seems to be showing, some gameplay. So that was the Sazabi. And then this is the Ashimir, which is like that transforming one. Just kind of look at some of the gameplay. Again, it looks like a typical first-person hero shooter. There's nothing Gundam about it other than the designs of the characters, the names of things. Anyway, if anyone happens to know how to get access to this beta, let me know. Drop a comment, come in the Discord, let us know, because I was searching around and I didn't really find anything immediately. I don't know what it is. Sometimes my Google Foo skills are good and they're dead on, and sometimes... okay, that looked pretty cool. Oh, okay, and there is the size difference between the units. Like, look at how big that Sazabi is. Okay, I'm kind of digging this a little more now that we're seeing scale is somewhat being used here. So, okay, cool. Heading back. All right, just something real quick. There's this this meme actually came back recently. It's a different couple or whatever, a guy with a girl. And then I saw this and just had to, this is me explaining the deep lore of Gundam to my friend who has never even watched it. Yeah, it's an old meme. It's just hilarious. It works every time because I feel like this is one of those memes where it's like, yeah, I feel like I'm living this on a constant basis. I don't know. For instance, like my brother, he's watched some anime. He's really into Berserk. I haven't really got him to get into Gundam. And so sometimes I'll sit there and just talk to him about it. My wife, I've learned by now that there's no reason to go into details on some things. But if I'm watching something and she's in the same room as me and I could tell she's kind of paying attention because it is intriguing. Gundam is intriguing. I'll like, this just happened the other night. I was watching Origin and she saw, I think when Eduardo, when it was, Char as Eduardo and there was Casval and that whole situation was going on. And she was like, oh, is that how he becomes Char? And then I started like explaining. Yeah, it was a Char Aznavour. That's right. Char Aznavour. And because Sayla was there. Anyway. And then I'm trying to explain to her the background of how it got. And then I realized I'm just talking and then just totally talking over the dialogue of what we were watching. So I probably ruined it, Let's see. Ian Hansen, can you post it in the Discord? Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, some of these links I'm sharing, I already have them saved because I prepared the podcast. That's a great idea, Ian. Thank you. Because every time I do these podcasts, I prepare the links ahead of time. I might as well drop them into either, the description or the Discord. It gets people to join the Discord, Which, by the way, the Discord's fun. If you haven't joined it, you should jump in. A lot of knowledgeable folks there, I'm telling you. All right, so here's something that's pretty cool. There he is. There's my older brother. He's kind of laughing. Now, he knows anime. He's probably watched a bit more than I have. But, yeah, Gundam, I don't think has been his thing. Well, good to see you there, man. But Turn A. So I haven't seen Turn A because I just haven't got to it yet. Chronologically, I've actually gotten to the point where I should be watching Turn A because I've finished Victory. But I wanted to go back and make sure I finished MS Igloo and did a deep dive on it because a lot of times, part of me doing this channel and doing the videos on what I watch is to help me understand it better. And then I want to kind of finish off early UC before I get into other stuff. There's these side stories like the Cross Dimension, Blue Destiny, Battlefield Record 0081, and I've already planned out how I'm going to cover those, which will be in that same format. I'll just use the other media they were in, like video games or cutscenes from video games. So expect that to come. But then I'm going to get to Turn A. And also, in this pursuit of all things Gundam, I've been collecting all of the Blu-rays, and they're expensive, so I have to kind of get them, one at a time. But yeah, pretty soon I'll have to get to Turn A, and so I didn't know that there was a movie collection. I knew about just in general the show, but I didn't know about the movie. So, yeah, this will be something I'm excited to check out. Yeah, and it looks like let's see. So the series would receive 2 compilation films covering the 50 episode series titled Turn A Gundam 1 Earthlight and Turn A Gundam 2 Moonlight Butterfly, which released February 2002. So in my years, 2002 actually didn't seem like too long ago, although it is 2022. So yeah, and I have never seen Turn A, so I'm gonna have to get into that. Oh, watching One Punch Man now. You know what? I remember when that first came out, and I started it and I liked it. I just didn't finish it. I'll get back to that. Yeah, Berserk is the jam. Yeah, I like Berserk as well. And another cool thing about Berserk is I'm a big fan of Miyazaki and the Souls games. The game designer. And he takes a lot of inspiration from Berserk, which I've learned, over the years. A lot of the things you see in Dark Souls and Bloodborne is from Berserk because he loves it. So I'm curious with Elden Ring that's coming out soon, what kind of inspirations are in that as well. All right, so moving on real quick. I wanted to show. I have this in the Discord. There's a channel for podcast posts, things I can share on the podcast. Valentine's Day came up, and that would have been for last week. I just forgot to even talk about it. Kind of like this. I have become this type of man that I see consistently on the internet, where once you get into anime, you then start developing feelings for these characters. And if they happen to be of the opposite sex and you are interested in that opposite sex, they become strong feelings. So I don't know if anyone else feels that same way, but I'd say Emma, just because she seems like a badass the whole way. She'd be my partner. Hamon is probably crazy. She'd probably end up like sending an asteroid onto my house if something happened, but Chris is another good one. She's just cool. Chris is a really cool character, but nothing really stood out. There was those episodes. There wasn't enough episodes to really develop more arcs than the one between her, Al, and Bernie. So, although Shara is a good one too, especially the effect riding a mobile suit has for her. Is this getting too risque? I don't know. And there's another one I posted. I guess dudes. I want to be equal. I want to be able to, bring in female Gundam fans, even though this is like a kind of a male-driven show. And I think I chose Bright Noah for the wisdom that he has and the fact that he has survived most of UC with some amazing Newtype pilots. That guy's just pretty badass. Let's see. Oh, yeah, here we go. Will, thank you. You can always count on Will to share that stuff. Robert, what about Lala? Yeah, Lala's pretty cool, but, it was a pretty interesting arc for her because she had just met Amuro. That's kind of when the audience meets her. So she was just infatuated with Char, not really understanding both sides. So she was probably, in a way, brainwashed, especially in the Elmeth, how she was used to use that as a weapon of war. I think the main thing that I got from that arc is that, and she, kind of spells it out clearly, is that she didn't really get to know Amuro. And I think in the greater discussion there is to really understand both sides before just going with just where she went. I mean, is that saying that Char brainwashed her? And not brainwashed her like completely, but just was able to explain his points to the point that she thought it was necessary. It was almost the same thing with Quest, even though she's annoying. But she was just thinking, it's like, hey, why are you guys attacking? You know, after that part in Shar's counterattack where she blew up the Salamis class cruiser that her father was on without her knowing. You know, like if she knew he was there, who knows what would have happened. So, yeah, I know. You know what? That's a good one because I am going to be getting into 08th MS Team for the next series that I'm going to be diving into. So I've watched that series twice, and there's something about the characters that I'm having a hard time with. Hopefully this next go around, I'll have a better connection with them. I think a lot of it is how the main characters are drawn. The noses bother me a whole lot. In fact, let me go back. I mean, that's like the craziest thing, right? It's like complaining about an elbow. But like her nose is this triangle that's like off center. So when I see her, it's hard for me to associate with a caricature of a human drawn in animation form. Whereas Emma, she's got a normal nose. The shading is in the right spot. I mean, Haman Karn, same thing. Yeah. So, okay, let's see what else is here. Oh, I thought this was funny. This is from Will. So there's like, I guess this camera up here, and you get a little closer, and there you go. It's Dom head. That's a perfect idea. Well, I wonder if that was like a perfect grade, or would that be a master grade? That seems like it would be kind of big. I don't know, but that's kind of hilarious. Oh, and then this one. Yeah, I've seen this picture around before. Is that supposed to be the Big Zam, Char, and the Gundam? Just some themed wrestling. Yeah, that's pretty funny. All right. Robert, I like the music of 08 at least. You know, it's funny. I remember when I was first getting into Gundam, and then that main theme song would start, and I was like, just kind of a typical sounding anime theme song. And then after, a few episodes, you can just jam to it. It's just stuck in your head, and you're like, yeah, this is a jam I can get behind. So, yeah. Zionic Shadow shared, I guess, a commission that he had done for him. I mean, it was a Pale Rider. It looks sick. And I guess it's his personal color that he's using in GBO2. I mean, that's a great drawing. And so he actually linked to the person. So I have their Atrians, add a Atrians. Apologies if I'm getting that wrong. So yeah, just posting their Instagram here. I guess their Twitter is also in the Discord if you want to check it out. But yeah, just some really cool artwork here. I like seeing the variety of way artwork is done with Gundam. I like that. That's cool. The different layers. I mean, this is some good stuff. I could see myself commissioning something. Yeah, getting a sticker done. I mean, look at that. It's very unique because, again, I love Gundam fan art because people have their own styles to it, and this is definitely like a really unique style. And I love seeing stuff like this. This is really cool. You know what? A few years ago, I did that because I had a tablet that I was drawing on, and I actually did a live stream where I was drawing a skull. And then I posted, the fast forward, time lapse of it. But when I look at this, it motivates me. I love seeing that shading that's done. And then going through to the coloring, it's great. Robert, can you show my Redbubble? Go ahead and post it in the chat if you want. I think that's some of your own artwork too. Yeah, go ahead and post it. Let's see. Yeah, go ahead and post it just in case I can't find it. I only had a few tabs up. Let's see. That's a cool. So that's something cool that Will was showing because it's Phoenix versus G first. Because there's this whole timeline 0096 Last Sun. Something else I'm going to want to cover too as I finish UC out. And then the character posters for Zeta. And someone made a comment about like framing these. Yeah, that was Zionic Shadow. Yeah, they just look cool. Yazan. Optimus, this is pretty cool. Amuro. And then, yeah, this is awesome. I love this idea. It's like there's some stuff out there, like there'd be paintings or portraits where they would edit the faces and make it of people or Star Wars characters. But I like the idea here of putting some mobile suits in there. And then this goof here, that's cool. Felipe Magana. Black Tri-Stars. There's so many good artworks. And then Will posted about, I guess, some characters he made. Kessel and Shaw was their names, or are their names. And I guess he had that commissioned. And yeah, that looks cool. And the person, yeah, I was clicking on it earlier and okay, there we go. Yeah, double EU. So that's pretty cool if you want to check out their work. Ah, cool. I like the time-lapse stuff. That's very cool. And I like the approach, the very sketchy nature of drawing. Very cool stuff. Very cool. All right. Back to video games for a second. GBO2 had some updates. So, on Thursdays, when the new dailies come out, usually there's a new mobile suit to win. In this one, they've got the GM3 powered FA full armor, so that's really cool. I didn't even know this existed until I saw this. That is sick. Things that are full armored are always awesome. And it's GM3, which is pretty cool anyway. I have a GM3 that I use, and I don't know if they're all like this, but it has like the shoulder-mounted missile pods, which are cool. Let's see, and it's a 550. I don't have many cool 550s. I noticed that today. There was a bunch of lately. There's been a bunch of 550 rooms, and yeah, okay, that's cool. Yeah, ESFS normal suit, and then the Barlent Custom is back. And I already have that, so it wasn't a big deal to me, but that is still awesome. Yeah, and I just got that recently, and I love it. It's a lot of fun. I actually do good with it when I'm not playing with the crew here. I think their level, their rank, pits us against higher player people or something maybe, and then it makes me look bad. That's what I'm guessing. Oh, level 1, 500, level 2, 550. Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, I guess that was really it. Not too much. I mean, another thing with GBO2, though, is you can even sign in today, get the other free stuff they're giving out. I like how they're doing that now that they've accumulated so many parts, weapons, and mobile suits that you can go in and get a lot of cool stuff now. It's just hard to get the exact thing you want, especially if it's new. I still want the Hazel. There's 2 Hazels, and I'm bound to get them. Just like I've gotten everything I've wanted so far: the new Gundam, the Zeta, the Double Zeta, the Barlent. I didn't know I wanted the Rigazi Custom until I wanted the Rigazi Standard. The one Amuro uses, and then I got the Custom. I'm like, well, it's cool. It's got a V-fin, and it kills. I was just playing a game today, and I should have recorded it where it's just like I'm going around just like killing everyone in the Rigazi Custom. It's just so good. All right. Let's see. I'll get into BO2 after I beat Horizon Forbidden West. Yeah, that came out recently, didn't it? Now, I wasn't too big into the first one, and I think it was because I had just beat Breath of the Wild. And so my mind, and I actually beat it twice. I played through it twice. And so in my mind, it's like when I'm playing an open world game, I need to be able to traverse the environment at all times. And so then when you play these other open world games that don't allow for that, then it's hard for me to really get into that momentum. But I heard they fixed it in the second one. I hate to say fixed it. More they added it in the second one. But Elden Ring is coming out soon, and I'm really just clearing my plate for that because that's going to take a lot of my time. Oh, you have it downloaded already? Oh, that's nice, man. You'll have to post what you think about it. And then Robert, thank you for that. Don't forget to like, everyone. Yeah, and don't forget to like everyone. It's good to like everyone. Even if someone in your life is just rude or a jerk, hey, just, like them. It could help them. All right. Okay. So the GM Camouf, I think I'm going to say Camouf, even though I think Goof and Camouf, and it's a Xeon suit. This is very interesting. I first saw this in Gundam Battle Operation 2. There you go. Gundam Battle Operation 2 is a good entry point into the various mobile suits that are in the Gundam UC universe, especially this one, because really it's a GM that has a mono eye. And so, yes, the GM Camouf is a prototype infiltration mobile suit and was featured in the manga Mobile Suit Gundam MS Igloo 603. It was designed for false flag operations. So that's pretty cool because MS Igloo is the series I'm currently watching. And I guess what, a lot of what turns into an anime series comes from a novel or manga, like G-Savior. Even though a lot of people don't like G-Savior, I dug it. I have a video on that, and I'll probably do an updated video too. Let's see. So, okay, so it's television, first seen in episode 10 of Gundam Build Divers. Now, what's interesting about that is I thought I saw a picture. I posted it as the, let me see, where was it? Yeah, here we go. Okay, here we go. This was in Gundam Build Divers. Now, the animation reminded me of Unicorn, but this is Gundam Build Divers. So that means we haven't really officially then seen it in a UC timeline animation yet. Let's see. Wish they would do another Dynasty Warriors Gundam game. Yeah, I think that would be good because I've been trying to go back and play the other ones. I got 2 and 3 on my Xbox 360. It's actually plugged in my living room for that and for Fist of the North Star, which, by the way, I meant to tell you guys this, that opening music that I've been playing on the podcast is from the Fist of the North Star video game that's on 360 and PS3. Amazing game. And it's a Dynasty Warriors style game, and it's not fully. It kind of has its unique take on it. But yeah, with my 360 out, I've been, have the Gundam Dynasty Warriors 2 and 3. And I just haven't really, it's actually kind of hard. I was playing, I forget if it was 2 or 3, where at the beginning you're Amuro and you have to destroy the mobile suits and you have to destroy sharks. So easy to get destroyed. I don't know. Sometimes it takes me a while for something to click, like Genesis. Let's see. Oh, Glenn, how can we get a hold of you privately? Well, a couple ways. On the Discord, feel free. I'm at this point, I'm not getting inundated with messages from people. It's just enough I can manage it, and it's really cool. Or GundamExplained@gmail.com. So either one, and feel free. I like to be able to have any sort of Gundam conversation. Maybe things that could be used on the podcast, or just talk about Gundam in general. A lot of people have some very cool information about Gundam that I'm able to, get with people on. Will, Santo Bell, Robert, a lot of people. Zeonic Shadow, yeah, there's so many. Oh, and Ian too, because lately, in Uncle Tom, there's a lot of people that are into the robot spirits, or they're into the games, or the specific anime. There's a lot of Gundam stuff to talk about, really. So, but yeah, back to this. So. Okay, so, just something I wanted to clear up with this, though, really is, even though this is in Gundam Build Divers, this is an official UC Universe suit. We see it in GBO2, and it's in MS Igloo. So, in appearance, the GM Camouf resembles an RGM-79 GM, shout out to the GM, although numerous sections of its body, such as the hip section and legs, originated from various mobile suits. The GM-like visor hides a mono-eye sensor, and the head still retains the energy piping unique to Xeonic mobile suits. The Federation's GM has a much slimmer profile than the Zaku. Thus, the GM Camouf's design was achieved by attaching armor painted in Federation colors to the frame of a Xeon mobile suit. An unexpected result of using such armor to mimic the GM's slim profile was that it lightened the load on the suit's frame, making the GM Camouf a very agile machine. That's cool to know. However, its defensive capability in turn was much worse than most Federation suits. Keeping the steel armor thin enough to mimic the GM's profile indeed resulted in a decrease in weight, but also decreased the armor's protective capability. So that's interesting. And looking at it, there are some areas that look different than a GM, and some that you can see where they made those differences. I'd like to find out if there's like a breakdown of it somewhere. Oh, very cool. It has those mines on the back there. Okay. Let's see. The standard armament of the GM Camouf was a 135mm anti-ship rifle, as the Federation still largely employed the use of warships at the time of the Camouf's development. It also sported a GM-like shield mounted on a Zaku knuckle shield, as well as the Zaku's Heat Hawk as its primary melee weapon. That's cool. The beam saber of the Camouf is merely cosmetic, a metal rod used to imitate the GM's saber. Very cool. I did not know that, but I like that detail. Let's see. It also sported a GM-like shield mounted on a Zaku knuckle shield, as well as, I just read that, didn't I? As its reactor would not allow the use of beam weapons. Oh, so that's interesting. We know that from the Zakus. They had the Heat Hawk, they had their machine guns, and if you think of the GMs and what they were outfitted with, it was primarily beam weaponry. So I can really see what they're trying to get at here. The Camouf could also utilize a 120mm machine gun, which would be mounted in its shield to further its offensive capabilities. So, let's see. It basically looks like a Zaku frame. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. There's got to be a model kit. Let's see. Let's see. Custom. Let me see if I go to... I wonder. Let's see. I do like Gundam high grade. I would figure it'd be a high grade, right? Yeah, maybe there's not. That would be a great kit. Let's see. Let me head back to where I was just at. Okay, so the armaments real quick. 120mm machine gun. Okay, 135mm anti-ship rifle. Okay, so to damage like a Samus-class cruiser. 280mm bazooka. I guess that's kind of typical for the Zaku bazooka, but they're saying it's appearances of a Federation's hyper bazooka, so that's interesting. The chain mine, that is that thing we just saw. It's similar to what the Camphor used. Anti-ship shaped charge explosive. Shield, knuckle shield, Heat Hawk. Very cool. So let's look at the history real quick. Even before the GM Camouf being an abbreviation of camouflage, was produced, Zeon had used captured GMs known as the Gefenganger GM for false flag tactics and operations. Let's look at this. Gefenganger. Let's see, and this was it first appeared in MS Era, 0099, Mobile Suit Gundam 1 to 80. Okay, so here we go. Is it supposed to be in this shot? Maybe this is before they have it painted up. I don't know, but that is very cool. So this is just diving deeper more into that. The machine is an RGM-79M that has been captured and used by the Principality of Zeon as a machine belonging to the Principality of Zeon. It was repainted green to prevent friendly forces from misfiring. Okay, so it could be that they had that, and then they took it, and let's see, as a result, Zeon's produced imitations of the GM bear the name Camouf. Okay, in any case, both the Gefenger, I'll get that sometime, GM and GM Camouf were not issued a model number due to the criminal nature of false flag tactics. Okay, to that end, Zeon denied the use of either mobile suit during 1 year war. That just became cooler. When used in an area with high Minovsky particle interference, the Federation MS targeting computers would fill in the blanks and IFF tag the Camouf as a friendly unit. However, as a mobile suit employed for false flag tactics, the pilot not only had to watch out for friendly fire, but also had to be concerned with being discovered by the enemy. Camouf pilots learned these 2 points the hard way during its only development. where the entire squadron was destroyed by its own Musai transport. Yikes. Ultimately, it was given a poor evaluation, was assigned to the Earth Volunteer Corps, Earthnoids, or Federation colonists that defected to Xeon. So that's the Camouf. Very cool. Looking, that actually looks really cool. This is from MSA Glue Complete Design Collection. Ooh, that would sound like something cool to have. Yeah, very cool. So here's what you guys think. And you know what? As I start getting into the next part of this, I just want to check how I am at time right now. Let's see. Yeah, if people want to start calling in, I want to keep trying that aspect. If you want to, make a specific comment about something, about what we were talking about, have something to say. Specifically, I don't want to make things awkward and be like, hey, what's going on? I want to try to be a good host. So yeah, feel free to jump in if you want to, because really I'm going to finish up with comments. Let's see. So Rico was asking about SD Gundam Battle Alliance. Is it PvP? And I don't think so. It looks like it's going to be a campaign-based co-op action RPG. Honestly, I'm excited about it. It would be absolutely amazing if they weren't super deformed. Let's see. How to watch Double Zeta Gundam, the least masculine and handsome Gundam YouTuber. Well, Jake, I think maybe you're acting out. Maybe I appeared to be the most masculine and handsome YouTuber, and you couldn't have me. And so maybe you had to make that comment. I don't know. I don't want to make assumptions, but Robert is calling in, so I'm going to pull him in here to test this out. Robert, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. How you doing, man?
Doing all right.
Cool.
So, just letting you know, I've been watching. I was here before you even started the podcast.
Yeah, I noticed that. I saw the chat. Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
So what's going on? Anything discussed so far you're interested in talking about? You there, Robert?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you seem to be cutting in and out.
Yeah. It's,
I'll give you a second. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so what's up, man?
Well, basically, and it seems like it's the Omicron variant right now, since my condition is.
Yeah, I think you had made mention about it. Yeah, I'd gotten it myself. Actually, the family did. Yeah.
Had swabbed for.
You know what, Robert? I am sorry. It is kind of cutting in and out. See if you can get that fixed and yeah, you can call back in. Yeah, sorry about that. Just want to keep this moving forward. But, if anyone else wants to talk to Robert, he's always vocal on Discord. He's usually the first to like a video too. But yeah, moving on. Oh yeah, that's right. I totally forgot that I was going to look at something. We'll look at it real quick. The favorite cyber Newtypes. So there's Marita won by a lot. And to be honest, I think that makes sense. I put Carozo Rona. I thought that was kind of an odd one to throw in there. I didn't think he would really get voted high, but I just want to throw that in there. And so you have 4, which came in second, and I think that makes sense. She was a very tragic character, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, was she like the first one that was discussed in Gundam, and that was in Zeta? And then Pul, or Puru, depending on how you pronounce it, or how the English translation is. And then her clones, which Marita is the 12th clone of her. That's a good one. It's kind of tough because it's almost like it's Marita too, but they expanded that arc with Marita. So I'd almost say they're the same person. And then Full Frontal. So Full Frontal is interesting because while we don't have, unless I'm mistaken and anyone knows this, we don't have full details on the creation of Full Frontal other than the idea that he's just a clone of Char. And then also when it comes to the cloning of a new type, what effects that has. I like the character, I always forget his name when I try to pull it from my database of Gundam names, Zoltan from Narrative, where he is a failed Char clone. I like that he doesn't necessarily look like Char, and he's kind of crazy, but and then I like that you find out he's a failed Char clone, and it's like, well, that's kind of cool. But I wonder, yeah, let me go to the comments here. So Tyler Jackson, I'm actually a pretty huge 4 fan, but I voted Carozo so that F91 could get some representation in the votes. Yeah, that's pretty funny. I appreciate that. Yeah, because F91 is pretty interesting because I think at that time in Universal Century, and I think Hathaway is kind of going in that direction where the general population isn't too familiar with Newtypes anymore, even though they exist. So you have Seabook and I forgot her name, Sicily, are potentially Newtypes, but it's not really a central theme. But Carozo himself is, and even has that type of like mobile armor psycho device at the end of F91. It would be fun to really explore F91 a lot, not only personally, into Crossbone, but also if Sunrise or Bandai is to start developing some more anime. I wonder how much Crossbone gets into like the Newtype, Cyber Newtype stuff. That'd be interesting. And what's cool about Crossbone is Judah Ashta from Double Zeta shows up in his custom Double Zeta that he's kept alive all those years. So, yeah, that'd be interesting. Show 22 isn't Benager a Cyber Newtype too? Yeah, and I think they even show that going on in Unicorn at an early age. And I think isn't it like a repressed memory or something that comes back? Which is pretty interesting. Marita Cruz, hands down from Robert. Santo is pull, no clones required. Yeah, I agree. Juan Roman, Full Frontal is basically Char, but without the issues and autism. And so that's what's interesting, because Full Frontal seems to be focused on his task and even developing a plan, and he explains it to everyone aboard the ship, of the idea to make it where Earth is reliant on the Earth sphere entities, being colonies, the moon, etc. And that fact is used in G-Savior, because you have then a group on Earth that figures out how they can create crops on the ocean seabed. And that is then trying to be stopped. They're trying to stop them from doing that because the colonies out in space, whoever's running the group, I think it was Consent, doesn't want that to happen. They want Earth to rely on them. So, and I think that's interesting, because if you think of the concept that Earth has to rely on colonies, with whatever sort of disaster could occur, you would think a space colony is much more fragile, and Earth is kind of like the place you could kind of fall back to. And I think you can really control the Earth sphere or a solar system by making the external entities, whether it's colonies, ships, whatever, make them in control where Earth has to rely on them. I don't know. I just thought that was pretty interesting. So moving on, Tomaniac win. I see a bunch of men of culture in the poll. Yeah, you know what? I wanted to add some guys there because I noticed a lot of them are female, like especially in Zeta, because you also have Rosamia, and then all the clones of Pull. So you forgot Char Soon. Oh, from Zionic. Oh, I missed someone else, but yeah, she's a good one. I just didn't. They didn't have enough room. She's a very interesting character on her own. I like her whole arc, from her quirkiness to this who she sides with by the end of Double Zeta, just because of how kind of convoluted that whole scenario got of who wants power or whatever. And then Truck Kun, Mommy Marita, of course. Yeah, all good ones. You know what? I haven't determined what my next poll is going to be yet. It might be, which Gundam series do I review next? It's either going to be Origin, 08th MS Team, which I think is going to win, F91, or Victory. I don't think that will win, but and I don't have the Blu-rays yet, but I'm curious to see what everyone thinks about that. By the way, could you show the artworks I sent you last month next weekend? Oh yeah, sure. If I didn't show that already, yeah, I'll make sure to. Yeah, thanks. If anyone has any other artwork, yeah, please send it in. Hey, War Master Muted and Broken, how goes it? Good to see you here. Hello, everyone. Thank you. The AOZ. The Advance of Zeta. That is a good one. I wish that was an actual movie. They need to do that. I need to just read the manga. I just need to get myself to read. It's hard for me to read. I tend to read fact-based books, like things that are about information. It's hard for me for stories where people are talking. I don't know what it is. Okay, so heading back to the comments real quick. Okay, we had the poll stuff. Okay, so Scorpion Kresna, I hope they bring all the old series without missing a single one, including the new one. This game better have Hydra Gundam and Psycho Gundam Mark III as a playable character. Oh yeah, the Psycho Gundam would be cool. Yeah, I'm interested to see what they do. I know we saw that first Psycho Gundam. I think that it was fighting, or no, that was the no, I'm thinking of, I don't know. There's so many giant Gundams. I wish to see Hathaway. Yeah, it'd be cool to have some Hathaway stuff in there. In fact, in that G Generation Genesis, didn't I download it? And I haven't used it yet. I think they have some of that stuff. Yeah, I just realized I haven't used any of that yet. There's just so many mobile suits in that game. If you like UC era mobile suits, that Generation Genesis has them all, and it's pretty awesome. And all the different weapons it could potentially use. From the live stream, hi, good afternoon. Are you going for the Jagan at all? No, I didn't. I wasn't too interested in that one. Thanks, Will. And then from SS, maybe silly question, but what are you playing this on? I've been out of gaming since like PS2 days, so I'm glad to see an interesting looking Gundam game. Yeah, so it's on PS4, and I'm playing it on PS5, and it even is boosted for PS5, but there's so many rumors about it being on PC and I think that's awesome, because I'm surprised that it's, third year, going to fourth year, it's getting so much more content, but then also, if it comes on PC, that's just even more players to play. Because it's interesting right now. It's hard for people to get PS5s, but it's also PS4s are high in price, because then people are just getting a PS4 because they can still play PS5 games. So there's still that audience there. I just hope between PS4 and the Steam version, potentially that's what it's coming out on PC, it's cross-compatible. I hope it has crossplay. That would be a wider audience of people to play with. But also, all the stuff that I've collected, I want to be able to be on my PC and have all my suits. You know, I don't want to have to try to get the Rigazi custom again. Let's see. Soup Spoon, congrats to the winners and congrats. Oh, yeah, that's from the MG Virtue Noddly. I have to look that up. But yeah, that's from the 800 sub giveaway. You know, I got that, always a giveaway going on. When I hit 1,000, that's when I'll do the next one. All right. We'll read. You the best for this? I was just about to search this out. Oh, yeah, for the DLC. This is so helpful. I decided to make a video because I was trying to find a video about how to do this, and I saw some posts on Reddit, some posts on a random website, and I wanted to just consolidate the information. Also, I wanted to make it as quick as possible. I wanted to make one of those videos where you just turn it on, I just quickly go through everything. The steps are in the comments. Yeah. Zionic Shadow, now I can finally get it. Yeah, man, get it. Let us know. I'm curious what you think about the game, because, again, I'm not one to play turn-based strategy games. Man, if this was like a StarCraft or Command & Conquer, where it's all real-time, moving them, oh, I would love that. And you know what? I'm thinking about that even more. What would be a unique twist on it is making them move slow, because they're, the robot, like, I guess not in space, but on land is what I'm thinking. Even in space, you can make them move slow. So as they're moving and then you're seeing some battles occurring, like you can then change the trajectory of one because something changed up here. So that's the micromanaging, and you have like multiple fleets. I think that would be sick. Santo Bell, which helped with getting me Breaker 3. This is how I got Breaker 3. Be aware that if you buy a full game and make the mistake I made, that is, play it on the international account. If you want to play with others online, you also need to buy the PSN sub for that region. So like Adam said, buy it, download it, and run it once in the purchase region, and then switch back to your normal region to actually play. There's no way to transfer the save data for most games. I only discovered this after beating Breaker 3 Break Edition, including all 6 DLCs and stories and unlocking all parts and difficulties. Yeah, it's crazy. But it's still awesome, man. But is it worth playing through again? It probably is. All right, Bamcorp Gaming. Hopefully they put some serious effort into it. Could potentially be a very cool game if they take it seriously and put some heart into the smaller details and having a solid amount of content. Yeah, because, I totally agree with you, because like on the surface, if there's not too much content, that can get old fast. But if they have tons of levels, it reminds me too, I've been playing that Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 on Switch, and it's an action RPG, and it has a lot of stages. I think it has a good enough stages, because then you play on hard and you can unlock more people, and then it has the gauntlets. If they build it out like that, it'll work. And then, the Jesta, Santo Bell, happy you enjoyed the kit. Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for getting it for me. Such an awesome MS, possibly my favorite grunt unit. You can split that front skirting in the center to get better movement out of the legs forward. And that's a good point. So for those out there that, have Gunpla, collect, want to pose, the front skirt, usually the 2 pieces that are on either side of the cod piece, they were just one piece, the little bar in the middle. What he's saying, and it makes sense, is you can split the middle because it's still going to be attached, and then you can move them individually so that you can move the legs individually. So that's really a good tip, honestly. Moving on. This is from that Milpo Sklint episode. I was excited to watch your video. You inspire me. You definitely need to research promo SM. So I guess maybe about, thanks for saying something like that. That's awesome. And then about, doing more promotion maybe on social media. Yeah, I haven't really jumped into that too much, just really the Twitter, the Instagram. It's just that I don't want to spread myself too thin yet. I don't know if you have any other suggestions on that, Grady, but I really appreciate that comment. Beer Gaming, I enjoyed the video. Awesome. Thank you for that comment. That's nice. Very nice. Robert, Adam, again with making them do the splits. Hey, you never know. I mean, that's probably, that's a prime articulation point. You just had to go for that line, didn't you? I'll have to look that up again. And then on the MS Igloo Angel of Death episode, yeah, the ghost lady made me scratch my head as well, though I think she's wearing a flight suit, which is extra odd. Yeah, thanks, Santo Bell. I didn't realize the flight suit. Still haven't looked back into that, but I'm going to have to, because there's another episode coming up. Mikhail Jacinto, the mysticism and superstition shown in Gravity Front gave me some Apocalypse Now vibes. Yeah, I remember when I read that, and I was like, that is a very good point. I like that aspect, because it's almost like that mysticism and superstition might not really be there. It might just be that what is coming about the fact of being in the war, going through this stuff. First of all, the Major is a major pain to deal with. Oh, yeah, he was. Oh, nice beard. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Robert. Yeah, just seeing what this does, right? I don't know. And from that music track I posted from Will, there are some real hidden bangers in this game that catches me off guard whenever I'm scrambling to keep my MS units alive. Yeah, that's the thing. Even though the music is playing over and over, it's catchy music. And it's funny because when I'm playing the game, I'm really focusing on the strategy, and then this music is playing. So I noticed that while I'm working, doing my day job, playing that music, it fills that same kind of thing where it's just keeping me focused on the work. Tsuyoshi15, yeah, that angel, no matter how many years it's been, still leaves me and any fan scratching our heads, at least until doing a bit of research, as the Japanese name is the Shinigami. And I guess this is basically trying to add in some Japanese lore about a god, goddess, or supernatural spirits that invite humans towards death. But adding this sort of aspect in the series just doesn't make sense, even if we have some sort of hints in this and the next episode of the lone survivor kind of deal. Yeah, that's something I was thinking. Is this something about, Japanese culture where it's kind of easy to relate to that idea? I don't know how to relate that to American culture other than when things happen, people tend to say like, oh God, or Jesus. I mean, that's not the same, but there's still that sense where sort of a fictitious, spiritual, mythological aspect is ingrained in our speech and storytelling. Other than that, I loved this episode. I love them showing not mobile suits or even regular vehicles taking on these mobile suits, but rather the average regular grunt soldier taking on these towering weapons. That takes balls despite the huge odds and how agile mobile suits can be. Plus, the low angles really emphasize how intimidating these things are from a person's point of view. The final moments of Barbary defiantly firing on the last Zaku, and in a way, defiance against the angel, and a facing death itself head-on kind of scene about to kill him, so it still gives me goosebumps. Yeah, all well done. The thing about MS Igloo is it's like how they shot or composed the scenes, and I think I've said this in every episode, is so well done. And they probably had more freedom because of the CGI rather than the animation. I'm just assuming that. I guess because getting certain angles in animation might take more skill, whereas when you have a 3D model in an environment, you can adjust the camera and just make some lighting adjustments, making it sound like it's easier, but I think they really pulled it off. And actually, let me give that a like and a heart. And then lastly, Joshua Mendoza. Crossroads was my first SD game, put over 200 hours into it and loved every second of it. I imported Genesis for the Switch and loving that as well. Music is always catchy. Well, cool. Yeah. Yeah, Crossroads will be next, but then Elden Ring is around the corner. That's too much. Yeah, going down. Let's see what's been going on here. I just want my Ground Gundam Robot Damashis are released already. Yeah, same here. I think I have what is it? There's like 3 of them, I think, or 4, because there's the desert types. There's the GM, there's the Gundam, and then there's a desert type, and then there's a Zaku, and then there's the 2 option parts. So that's the thing. I've got all these pre-ordered, and it's like I can't really just buy more stuff. I have these things pre-ordered. Yeah, it's crazy. What was this one? RTS Gundam games, sweet. Yeah, that reminds me, there is a free Gundam RTS game available for download. I forget what it's called. If you search Gundam RTS free, you can find it. And it's just where someone took a free open source RTS engine and kind of made it Gundam themed. And I was playing around with it, and it looked pretty cool. I just didn't really learn it too much. Didn't really have time, but it's out there if anyone's interested. And then Robert adds Japanese Shinigami, literally death god goddess. So yeah, further on that. So that's interesting. So yeah, guys, I think that is it. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I love doing these live streams where we have all this chat going on. I'm going to put the poll up here shortly about what series I should review next, since I'm finishing up MS Igloo. Just 2 more episodes of that. But also, if you haven't joined the Discord, there's a Gunpla contest that's going to be going on. Also, that video of the giveaway, post in that so you can, potentially win something. Yeah, the Discord's a lot of fun. Everyone in the Discord is just awesome. And then we play some GBO2 for the live streams on Saturdays. That'd be great. But also, yeah, make sure if you want, email me at GundamExplained@gmail.com if you just want to ask me something, or you're curious about something Gundam related, or if you want something to be featured on the podcast. I'd be happy to do it, especially like artwork and stuff. So anyway, yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll talk later.